Hari ini kita apa namanya? Mau reaksi live Patchnote-nya dulu. Soalnya ini keren banget Patchnote-nya. Kita lihat ya. Kita sambil nonton bareng. Ini di sini aku sambil gambar juga. Cuman sambil monitornya di sini. Jadi kalau misalnya aku sering ngeliat ke bawah, maklumilah.
Talking about for a while now, we finally pulled the trigger, so to speak, haha, gun joke, on this change is we are making Cursed Revolver Androxus's base weapon. He's also getting a slight damage nerf with this. Numbers can change in PTS, obviously, but now Cursed Revolver is the way that Androxus plays at base. This opens up an opportunity to choose another talent in addition, and then Cursed Revolver, the talent, will be reworked. The new effect is your revolver applies an effect that lasts for 2 seconds, which deals damage at an interval, and that damage increases per tick the longer it remains on the enemy with a maximum damage. So if you keep hitting the enemy with the revolver, the effect will refresh on the enemy, and the damage will scale up to a maximum value per tick. And as long as you keep that dot on the enemy, they'll keep taking damage until it falls off. I believe we also have a couple of card changes. Both of his card changes are the killing blow to elimination changes. So they are essentially the same effect, but delivered a different way. Spiteful is getting generating ultimate charge after hitting at least one enemy with Defiance, and Vengeance is now healing after hitting at least one enemy with Defiance rather than killing blows.
Awesome. And I see here that Sky is getting some significant
changes
to her stealth. You guys want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the little small stuff, we increased the range of this crossbow up to 55. The tooltip was incorrectly saying that she had a range of 30. That was not right. It was actually 45. So it's not as big of a change as it may sound.
Effective range-nya di buff
her
nih.
preparation talent. So now what it's going to do is it's going to set the duration of hidden at 2 seconds and prevent that from being increased by any method that might have otherwise increased it. But while hidden, you're going to reduce the damage taken by 75% and increase your movement speed by 20%.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to those changes. Moving around fast is really what I need in that character. All right,
Gotta be
and then
everywhere.
Exactly. And then let's talk about Grover, who looks like he's getting his healing tweaked a bit.
All right, so Grover, you'll need to check the patch notes after because I wrote like a really punny dev commentary. I hope you enjoy it. But essentially, we're reworking a number of Grover's talents. So we'll go through all the changes, but essentially, so Blossom. We are decreasing the burst healing on Blossom from 800 to 650, but it now essentially has Rampant Blooming's effects, or previous Rampant Blooming's effects at base. So it now also applies a healing over time effect for 300 over 2.5 seconds on hit. We are also making sure that he can see his own effect radius for the healing circle. That's something that's just a big quality of life, knowing when you can hit that Blossom. And then for Crippling Throw, we're increasing the base damage a little bit, 400 to 425. And for Throwing Axe, actually this is something that you'll note for a number of champions, but many of the champions that have the ability to launch themselves into the air, notable examples being Grover, Anara with her Flying Wall card, Bomb King, Poppy Bomb are having their mid-air inaccuracy on their in-hands or other abilities removed, Grover's being one of them. So no more mid-air inaccuracy for Grover Axe. And then we are reworking Deep Roots and reworking Rampant Blooming. So Deep Roots has had a number of changes, number of iterations. Frustration with, we want Grover to be a utility, right? Leave that identity intact. But
stick to the points, Kevin.
I'm sorry, I had to get a couple in there. But you know, the effect itself, especially the crippling chain that we had previously, was becoming a frustration. So the new deep roots, so crippling throw chains to nearby enemies, causing a healing aura to spawn around them. So hitting an enemy will chain to other enemies, and allies that are near those enemies will be healed over time. And then we are also reworking Rampant Blooming. So instead of the Rampant Blooming went into Blossom at base. And the new Rampant Blooming is heal for a burst of 500 and an additional 300 over 2 seconds at your location when you finish vining. So you vine, and then when you get there, you burst heal.
Itu tidak sehat.
With the heal over time component as well.
Aja sih.
So a lot of tree of life stuff going on.
You're way too good with puns. I'll be honest.
Ini better dinyalain nggak ya?
It never stops, really.
It never stops, yeah.
All right, and then let's talk about one of my favorite champions, because I'm a try-hard. Let's talk about Kinessa. What's happening with her?
Kinessa? Wah, yang
so
lama-lama nih, champion yang
a lot of the theme
lama-lama
of this
di
patch is quality of life buffs, a couple shifts. Kinessa is one of the more significant nerfs. So for her primary fire outside of the sniper mode, we're decreasing the damage from 180 to 170. In the sniper mode, we're increasing the time to fully charge for max damage from 1 second up to 1.2 seconds. She's also getting some decreased accuracy in the air and after jumping. That being said, for transporter, we are slightly reducing the time.
Tapi menurutku Kinessa nggak se-OP itu sih untuk di nerf menurutku ya. Iya, yang ranjaunya yang OP sih. Cuman kalau Kinessanya sendiri ya aku masih pengen Koga sama Zin ini.
For Headhunter, we're adding a 0.25 second pre-fire to give you a little bit more opportunity for counterplay. We also adjusted her oppression talent. Now, in addition to the other changes it makes, it also increases the cooldown of oppressor mines by 2 seconds. So the mines, while stronger, will happen less frequently. And then her generator card, we've reduced the scaling from 1.5 seconds to 1.2 seconds. So hopefully Kinessa is a little bit more manageable on the enemy.
Yep, talentnya yang OP. Sebelumnya teleport
And once again, I am heartbroken over these changes, but I can see why they need it. Especially the mines no longer target mounted enemies.
Sih, cuman
We tried to go easy, but Montreal just kept pushing us to go really hard on nerfing.
masih bisa di counter lah gitu
I see why the changes are made.
Lumayan OP,
Anyways,
masih
so again, once again, to let
gitu.
everyone know, Patchnotes will be dropping after the show, so you can see the full list of balance changes, and there are quite a bit of them this time around. So keep your eye, follow us on socials, and keep your eye out for those. And yeah, so let's go ahead and move over to some of the bug fixes and quality of life changes coming to this patch. Let's start with some of the bugs this time around.
Bug
I can Fish, if you want, we can alternate these.
Go for it.
But also wanted to say, yeah, as Jarrell mentioned, you know, we have a whole host of stuff, balance changes that you see on the patch notes. So those are just kind of some of the high points. We also have even a ROM subservience rework. So keep an eye out for the patch notes after the show. So our first fix, finally, and believe me, like specifically this Cassie thing has been the bane of my existence for like ever. It's been on the backlog. Every once in a while I get free time, I try to look at it, and we haven't been able to fix it. But finally, Cassie, Timber, and Tinder are now distinct as they should be, separate skins with different colors. Finally. And then we had a free rewards quest issue that should be fixed at this point. And then I know, believe me, I personally have experienced it. The audio issues that you guys have been reporting to us, that is a huge focus for us right now. So we are in the middle of investigating and trying to find a fix for it. So please, thank you for your patience so much. It's a top priority for us. But yeah, just a heads up. Still looking at that.
With that free rewards quest, that quest was functional as of last patch. It just didn't have the messages to tell you, hey, this is the reward, and this is the reward, and going out with this patch, those should be clear.
Ya nih, tidak cukup family friendly, tapi ya skinnya Paladins juga banyak yang tidak family friendly juga sih.
And again, believe it or not, we do listen to you guys,
Mau
and
lihat?
I do see your tweets about all the stuff
Kenapa?
that's happening and all the stuff that we can fix, and we are trying
Kelihatan ya?
very hard to work on these things, especially with the audio issue. I know ever since the last patch, we've been working very hard to fix that for you guys.
Bercewek aja. Ya aku mau bikin
So if anything
sih,
ever comes
cuman
up, just
kayak
hit me up on
males
Twitter,
aja.
and I'll forward it
Skinnya
to the team,
Paladins
and we'll
fan
work on it.
service semua,
Yeah.
yes, terutama yang cewek-cewek.
All right. And with that said, let's move on to these new custom settings.
Yeah, this is exciting. We've been working on
Apa
this
nih?
for a while, and little things pushing back a couple patches. But we're really excited for
Nih
what we're
pakai
into.
Clip-N
We've
Studio.
added some options that we've used internally for some of our LTMs, for our limited modes.
Expanded
that
custom
can now
settings.
be
We've added the
you can
following as
modify any custom
advanced
match that you
setting in
create
custom
from the advanced
games.
settings
Ya,
menu.
kelewat.
Let's see.
Apa tadi yang?
I think we've added some starting credits, some cooldown reduction, movement speeds, changes like that. So definitely try it out. I think there's some fun opportunities for creating your own favorite versions of your own custom limited time
Okay.
matches. So definitely have fun with that.
Yeah,
Also,
and
outside of that,
Custom.
oh no, go on.
yeah, outside of that, we've done a number of quality of life changes. Some of these are focused on new players, but they'll benefit everyone. We have changed our free champion roster. We've added another frontline, and we've swapped a couple out for champions that new players tend to have a little bit more success with, so make it a little easier to learn the game for new players. We've also unified the ability order. There was one order for the centered HUD, there was one order for the non-centered HUD, there's another order for the champion screen, there's another order for the K or ability screen, and now all of those should be unified. If you had previously set to centered or
Free itu
non-centered,
maksudnya yang mesti
your HUD
beli.
order should be preserved. For new players starting out, it's going to be this new same order that's in the other places, so it'll either be down to 2 orders for people using the legacy options,
Oh,
or
maksudnya
just
kayak
one
yang pertama
for
kali
new players.
main
We've also
Paladin.
added auto buy that can be toggled in
Oh.
the item source screen itself. So that'll be more convenient. Previously, you'd have to go to the settings and you wouldn't be able to toggle it back on. So
Yeah.
that should help out as well.
Awesome. And then
dan Furia dihapus dari
earlier
Gold
we posted a blog
Edition,
post
berarti bayarnya mesti.
stating that we are changing the free champions that are available to all new players. Can we
Jadi
talk
nggak
about
bisa
that and
kita.
why we're making these changes a
Kalau
little bit?
kita kan kayak
Yeah, can you want that one?
Sure. Yeah. So, so it's been something again. I'm kind of repeating myself. This is like the third time, but
Kalau
it's been
untuk
something that's been on
gambar
our minds for a while
karakter,
now. This is
kira-kira
a really
aplikasi
good
paling enak
update
apa?
opportunity
Kalau
for
aku
a
sih yang
number of
paling enak
changes that,
Clip
that
Studio
have
Paint.
been either on the back burner or kind of
Dia tuh
in the works for a while.
terlalu banyak
But
cheatnya.
so for the
Ya,
new
makanya
champion
sangat
changes,
terbantu
there were
untuk
some
menggambar gitu
champions
di
in the
Clip
current
Studio
free
Paint.
rotation that or who we felt
Caranya
didn't
Clip
accurately
Studio
represent or were slightly more difficult for newer players to kind of get a sense of, okay, so this is what this role does, or okay, this is, the relative level of complexity for this role or this champion or Paladins as a game. So in addition to kind of keeping things a little bit fresh, we also wanted to make sure that players had an
Oke,
opportunity to
coba.
play with champions that we felt
Selamat
better
mencoba.
represented a good showing for newer players specifically
Enggak sih, bayar.
as
Note-nya
an
itu
intro
bayar ya.
into Paladins. And so we made some changes, targeted
Tapi
changes,
dia lifetime
in
kok.
coordination with marketing and,
Yeah.
and everyone to kind of shift closer to find kind of that good middle ground for those different champions.
And with
And,
that, if you champions that were previously free, existing players will have
Wih,
those
lomba apa tuh?
unlocked for them. So champions that you bought cosmetics for, champions that you had mastery in, out of the free, you will still have access to. And then we've updated the
Nggak apa yang
deluxe
penting dapat
and
lifetime
gold
kalau
editions
sewa
so
udah
that
nyaman ribet.
the
Iya,
ones
aku
that are not
sangat
free will not be
merekomendasikan
available in
Clip
those
Studio Paint karena itu di Windows
Awesome. And
di
again, if you
mana
guys
sih?
want more information, we did post a blog post about it, so you guys can just check
Cuman
that
nggak
out.
lifetime sih dia. Langganan.
All right, and now let's get into some of the
Pokoknya
spicier
yang
content,
PC lah
starting with
gitu.
a visual update to Trade District. We got a preview of this shiny new coat of paint, so let's take a look.
Oh. Wah, nih. Woo! Sini kamu geser nonton berdua.
Duh, kalau kacamata malu Aura. Oh, udah.
map.
Lagi.
Ini kayaknya map yang ini deh, yang
Ini map baru apa rework nih?
enggak rework yang itu loh, yang banyak-banyakan mati.
Oh iya.
Iya.
Udah baru apa?
Banyak-banyakan ngebunuh. Tuh.
Threat district rework. Oh iya. Lu nggak kelihatan?
Oh.
Iya, deathmatch.
Match.
It looks sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Iya sih, tapi
Yeah,
takut
it looks
berat.
magistrate and it looks
Berat.
majestic.
Apaan?
Like, it's impressive.
Mapnya?
Bad,
Paladin udah nggak ada yang ngeteng.
majestic.
Udah bukan game low spec
Majestic.
lagi.
No.
Game AAA.
You
Majestic.
tried. Was there anything you guys want to talk about with the new visual update?
I mean, there are a couple high points. So obviously, the magistrate art has been updated. There are some row houses. There are some updated props. The art outside of the map gives the a better feel of a grandiose space with the large city outside, and then you can see in the distance some towers from Stone Keep to also kind of give you a sense of the context of the space. And all these changes combined just make it feel kind of grand in a way that the old one didn't do as well. So I'm very happy with that.
I'd also like to point out that there are different resources and teams that go into like a visual update versus an entirely new map. So we still do have cool things coming out in the future, but we're also really enjoying. I think this is the last of the Magistrate City maps.
Kayaknya nggak
You know,
beda
that
jauh, paling
after we started
dikasih
with the Magistrate's
bunga-bunga
Archives
aja,
map
tambahan
to
kayak
receive
bunga-bunga
that visual update,
perintilan
and
gitu.
just keeping that fidelity high is our goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of the maps that I'm most familiar with, and it's good to see a new coat of paint on this one.
Siang malam ada dua ini
All right.
juga.
Okay. Now let's move on to some of the community news happening in the realm. All right. So with this month, it is Pride Month. So woo for that. And we are giving away an exclusive spray to celebrate the occasion. Play any 2 non-bot games and get your hands on this spray to show your support. Which I think the spray actually looks sick. This whole graffiti look.
I think it's a cool style.
It's got love and 2022 in there. Very
Ini
cool
ya,
stuff.
kelihatan kan.
Emang kelihatan itu.
Also want to let everyone know that if you haven't already claimed Boss Fight Koga from your Prime Gaming, then time is running out.
Kepencet guys.
You have until, I think, tomorrow to claim the skin. So if you haven't already, go ahead and log onto your Prime Gaming and claim the skin. And I'm a huge fan of all the Monster Cat stuff that came out, and Boss Fight Koga is definitely one of the better ones that have come out. And then also, speaking of Prime Gaming, we have a new skin coming with Defrag Dinara.
Hah, skin. Wih.
Wih.
And
tapi
we'll have
kayaknya
more
pernah sih,
information
cuman
coming
warna
on this at a
biru.
later
Pas
date,
aku
so
ganti
please
doang
be
ya.
sure to follow our socials for more info.
Nggak beda jauh sama.
Nggak diganti, splash artnya doang.
And that's it for community news, so let's move on to everyone's favorite part, the skins. And right now we got a new skin for Lilith, included in the Beyond Science chest. Let's take a look at her.
Ih lucu.
So if you take a look at the splash art, so
Lucu
this is a
banget.
continuation of the previous Stellar
baru, kan?
Sisters type deal that we had going on.
Ayo
So
ya?
now we have Stellar Witch
Ayo ya?
Lilith, which is pretty cool.
It's
I'm a huge fan of the whole magical girl
Kan lagi
skin
bukan
line
Ayu
stuff.
ini.
Oh ini enggak yang baru.
I think we
She
even have,
looks great.
like during this tournament, we even have, I
Oh,
think, a
yeah.
couple voice lines ready to queue, right?
Champion baru dapat skin
Yep, we got some
aja.
voice lines, so
Tahu,
let's
Vora
hear.
udah sekian lama baru nih dapat skin.
Si Aki apa kabar?
Ya Aki mah itu champion
Same sister.
mati aja.
Same, yeah.
Tapi cukup OP loh.
Mana OP?
Cool.
But yeah,
Nggak
That's
ada
just
OP-OP-nya.
just a small tease of what she's going to sound like. But all of our, I thought we did really well with this update. You'll hear a little bit later, our next announcement, more content. But all of our voice talent did really well this time. So Very excited, and I love this. I actually really enjoyed the Stellar Sister skin in general, so I was really happy to see Lilith get the skin.
I think it's a great skin for her.
Like gemstone textures, which is fun. I like the floating wings, the little like
si VORA ya sempat sih dapat skin, cuman ya skin basic lore dia
Huge contrast
yang
from her
sebelum
base
dia
skin.
jadi
Alright,
demon.
and now let's get into what everyone came here for. Let's talk about the Rwby crossover pass.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
We got a trailer, let's roll it.
Yeah, let's see it.
This realm will be mine, and no one can stop me.
You'll have to get through us first.
So be it.
Laku ya, tapi emang nggak tahu sih Western kayak mulai menguibu. Ya ini kan anime kayak anime MMD gitu kan, nggak anime gitu, anime 3D gitu kan.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to get to work with another
Tapi
big
skinnya bagus, mengkilap gitu kayak bajunya
anime like that. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was really enjoyable.
Skinnya siapa?
I was just going to mention
Pengen
talking
Sati
or
sama
working
Kuliah.
with.
Oh, ya.
We had
Menurut
some
kamu,
of the original voice talent actually.
champion
we were able to
siapa
work with
aja yang
for these skins,
dapat
which I'm going ahead a little bit, but it was really
Rwby
cool to be able to
Rwby.
see. They've been working with this character for so long, so they just got right into
Yes.
into the character rather than the original characters that would come up with other skins. So they were like, okay, these are the lines. All right, let's do it, and it flowed super naturally. It was
yang
really
gini.
awesome.
Yeah, and I'm super excited for this too because I'm a big fan of Rooster Teeth, a big fan of Monty rest in peace. But
Aku sih
you know,
jelas yang putih itu
super
Furia, soalnya
hyped
dia
to see this.
Zeus
And,
gitu.
judging by the community's reaction, everyone is super hyped for this.
Iya, soalnya
Really excited with how it turned
apa kayak ada deploy.
So let's get into it and talk about what you guys can see in this crossover
Berarti-
pass.
Tapi musuhnya kira-kira
So
ada
starting
skin
off
nggak ya?
as the instant
Aku sih
unlock,
berharap
you get the
musuhnya ada
battle
skin.
pass or the crossover
Yang
pass.
kemungkinan dia tuh series.
Ruby Rose VORA.
Cuman kayaknya nggak tahu.
It is not only a
And-
scythe; it is also a high-impact sniper rifle.
Bagus ya?
That's right. It's also a gun. I think that's been a request like since VORA has been around. Since then, and
Gives
so
VORA a
Yes.
gun.
I think everyone saw this coming, but yeah, there she is in game, and she looks great. And also we have some voice lines from the voice actors. So
Beli yang
let's
full.
take a listen to those.
Dia nggak usah nge-push buat dapet skinnya.
That's why we're here. To
Repot
make
ya?
the world better. Now let's go,
Kita makan
team.
aja mau nyari cateringan kan.
It's just like the show.
Kita rela makan nasi garam buat
Pers-
skin ini. Enggak ya?
Yeah,
Enggak
personally,
juga
I'm
ya?
a huge fan of these. They're from season
Nasi goreng
7.
lah minimal.
Season 7 outfits. They look great in
Semoga
game.
musuhnya itu satu yang mau saya
And
I think
we
they
have
turned
some
out
gameplay
pretty well.
footage of these, so let's go into those.
bisa antara dua itu
See
sih.
it.
Wuh! Akhirnya VORA dapet skin.
Oh, the best just stalk her enemies with. Yeah, she's looking absolutely
Tapi posenya
fantastic.
masih sama.
Wow, that's fun.
Perasaanku doang atau
I
ini
think
skin
everyone
pertama
on social
yang
media
animasi
kind of
skin makanya jadi
knew
dua.
that VORA would get the
Maksudnya?
Ruby skin.
Iya, tadi pas B.
For obvious
Muka.
reasons.
It's a good fit.
Itu jadi masukin.
Yeah.
Emang ya? Dianimasiin gimana?
Oh, rest in peace. I am a
Relatable
huge
content right
fan of scythes. So anytime we get a different scythe or a
Sad-
different like visual update on the scythe, I am
Face.
here for it. So I was very excited,
Juice, so.
not only for Rwby but also to see VORA get another cool scythe.
Mapnya, oh jadi beda banget sih ini.
Yes,
lewat-
and it looks great in game, and I love the rose petals that come out when
That's fun.
the rose petals that come out looks great.
Team Ruby approaching.
Yeah.
Enggak, tambah
Flowy
bunga-bunga
like
doang.
leaves or flower petals is another aesthetic that I really enjoy. I like how we've done it here.
Semoga ya
Team
musuhnya itu
Rwby
series
approaches.
atau Lilith. Iya, aku berharap musuhnya juga ada skinnya si series gitu. Aku rasa sih series ya. Ini
Man, it is
series
just
banget.
Fernando.
bikin- Ya bulat-bulat
Ya,
gitu.
sama Lilith sih sekarang.
Bye.
Nah, kalau Lilith kan
Alright.
lemparnya slot gitu.
Alright, and then, so you guys want to move on to the next one?
Karena si Ayo
Yeah,
itu.
there's so many good ones.
Emang ya?
Can't say
Alright.
no.
Ntar deh cek.
Ntar kita.
Alright,
Nice.
so the next
Spray on
skin
the body.
that's coming in to the crossover pass, the
Nih,
level 9
si ini yang
unlock,
si kuning.
Yang Zhaolong Imani.
Jadi mana ya?
And I think it's also a perfect
Imani.
fit too. One of my personal favorite characters from the show.
I was really pleasantly surprised with how well all these characters
Speaker nih.
kind of
Masuk
meshed onto Paladins champions. I think the
Kalian
skins turned out really well as
bermasalah
far
sama
as thematic matching, which is
suaranya?
always
Cakep.
something you look for in a crossover pass like this.
It can
Tapi
be tricky,
cakep,
right?
aku lebih
Finding,
suka
like,
mukanya
okay,
si
It can.
kuning
what
daripada
has similar
si
proportions, what has
Rwby
similar
tadi.
weapons, what has similar abilities, right? And I
Iya,
agree.
kalau
I
ini
feel
kan
like,
lebih anime gitu.
fits for them. And I think it turned out very well.
Ini lebih dapet gitu anime.
Yeah, and I totally
Kalau
agree.
yang
And
tadi
again,
kayak
here she
kartunis.
is with her season 7 outfit, which I think looks great. And we got some voice lines queued up, so let's listen to those.
You don't know the first thing about strength. You might be powerful, but that doesn't make you strong.
Yeah, she's my
It's true.
favorite.
Suara siapa ini? Kalau suara si VORA kurang cocok menurutku sih. Soalnya bukan VORA.
Select your champion. But no,
Yeah, so
she turned out really well.
Ini
Yeah, I
skin
think she
Imani
turned out
terbagus
fantastic.
kayaknya.
So
Aku
let's go
nggak
ahead and
ngikutin
take a look at
Imani
her
sih,
in-game
cuman
as well.
kayaknya iya ya. Cakep.
And yeah, I think Imani was a great fit for her.
Tapi Imani skinnya nggak ada yang jelek menurutku. Apa nggak inget sih. Imani tuh skinnya yang botak bagus sih.
Just gauntlets.
Aku nggak suka cewek botak sih. Iya.
The
Ya enggak
gauntlets and
bajunya,
her body,
bajunya bagus.
It's great.
I really like that presentation.
Tuh Imani kan yang botak itu.
That contrast is brought out. I really enjoy it.
VORA yang Rwby kan beda
And
pasti.
again, I'm just super pleased with how things turned out in game. Shout out as always to the entire team
Yep.
who worked on each of these
Di
skins.
animenya tuh
Ron
dia
with the
skillnya
VFX
gitu
especially
juga
is
nggak
always
sih?
putting in work. And I
Tinju-tinju
think it's
aja ya.
translated like really well. So I'm
Gitu.
super hyped to actually play with these skins in game.
Absolutely.
Sin ya Paladin nggak ada
The VFX
karakter
are
yang tinju ya,
stunning,
maksudnya
honestly.
yang jujitsu gitu.
Shout outs to them.
Nilai susah.
Art Fire feels very fit.
Keren banget kalau mau kayak gitu ya.
Cool. They pop.
Tron iya tapi sebenarnya.
Alright.
Bisa sih sebenarnya.
Iya maksudnya
Oh,
dari ini
sorry.
That's
diganti
a
jadi
grim looking
tinju.
dragon.
That's my favorite part of the show when this happens.
Iya belum ada. Apa
Remember that
namanya?
time Yang summons a
Yang
grim dragon?
tinju.
Alright. Alright, and then let's go ahead and get on to the next skin we have lined up here.
Loh, ini ultinya. Lah,
Ultinya
We
sama.
have the level 19 unlock, Blake Belladonna Sati. Which I think is also another
Sati
good
yang.
fit.
Sati.
Kamu kan suka main Sati.
I super dig that outfit. I think it's really cool.
All of their outfits are
Yours especially.
S tier. But yeah, I think she's a great fit for champion
Nah,
because she
kucing
has the
Sati.
shadow
Yes.
clones and she can put down her clone.
Tipe kamu nggak?
Yeah, I think it fits
Love the way
really
that
well.
pistol
Dia kan
turned
nggak
out.
pakai kacamata, tidak ponytail.
Pistol does look great. And we got some voice lines for her, so let's listen.
Pria punya selera, ada selera cuma satu.
Trust me, I know what's going on out there more than anyone. Standing around won't fix it.
Tapi kayaknya justru malah yang sebelum dia rambutnya pendek.
And this character in particular was one of the this character was one of the ones I was able to work with writing the script and working with the talent. And so she's kind of, for those who aren't super familiar with Rwby, she's kind of like that more somber vibe, which you can kind of see even with the color palette. And it was really fun. And I think the voice pack turned out really well, specifically with Blake. I mean, all of them obviously I talked about before, but with Blake especially, and the skin. I don't think I've seen a pistol with a blade quite like that. But I just really cool.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a look at her in game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
perks there.
The gun model
check
does
out those
look
crystals on the
super good.
Ya basically ya
Yeah,
beneran
the glow
skinnya
off the
doang,
distance.
pose segala macem nggak dikasih kayaknya.
Nih, nggak ada posenya ya.
Authentic.
Lisensi lagi kali kalau pakai pose.
Exhaust.
Nice.
Kan posenya bisa
Now, of course, Blake won't be exhausted.
bikinan sendiri.
The enemy will be exhausted after fighting against Blake Billard.
Anime banget.
The skin on that cutout is
Ibu,
massive.
ibu.
I know.
I know that is the extra mile from our team to
Ibu.
restore deployables like that. So that I really like the way that turned out.
Tidak cocok.
Yeah, I think
Bukan
it
nggak
turned out
cocok,
great.
masanya
And,
sama
Sati
sekali
being one of
tidak
the
mendeploy,
champions that I
sangat
like playing
terlihat
the most.
berbeda gitu.
Tidak mendistract.
Iya, tidak mendistract. Kadang kan kayak, ternyata itu cuma deploy-nya, aku tertipu.
Alright.
Ini enggak, sama sekali enggak,
Let's go
terlalu
ahead and
beda
move on to
gitu.
the next one, the level 29 unlock for the Rwby crossover pass. Weiss
Exciting.
Schnee Furia.
Furia. Apa ya, pengen belajar Furia lagi.
It's a good sword.
The VFX in particular on this skin, I thought were really cool. Very ice.
Very ice.
It's smooth and cool.
Get out.
Kenapa dia matanya
Weiss
kan?
Schnee.
Of the Schnee family, and yeah, she looks fantastic in the game too.
Apa dari departemen skin.
She looks so good. She might be one of my favorite ones, honestly.
Improve-nya?
Iya.
This might be my
Yeah, I
new
think she turned out
main
really well.
Furia skin.
Tapi ya karena improve ini jadinya.
All right, and then we have a voice line prepared as well, so
nggak
let's take a listen to
bisa.
that.
Kalau dulu kan bisa baju,
The Schnee family
senjata
legacy is
tuh
mine to uphold,
apa?
and I'll do
Senjata
so
masih
as a
bisa ya?
huntress.
Senjata masih bisa.
Baju atasan, bawahan, atasannya apa, bawahannya apa?
Iya.
Kalau dulu buat.
She's
Oh.
definitely one of
It's
my
an interesting
favorites.
mix of like formal and action at the same
Kalau
time.
ini kan jadi sebadan-badan
There's a
satu set.
button-up jacket and a
Ternyata
long-
skin Sati biasa
It's a
aja.
combat
Sebenarnya sih
skin.
bagus.
Bagus.
Yeah,
Anda
right?
saja yang tidak selera.
She's
Weapon
definitely
turned out as
the
well.
Enggak, cuma deploy-nya
Definitely
aja.
princess
Kenapa
type
wibu
esque
sekali?
which is my personal
Ya,
weakness, honestly.
deploy-nya lucu, cuman sangat
And of
tidak
course,
menipu
we
gitu.
love a gun
Iya,
sword.
sangat tidak menipu intinya.
Who doesn't?
Tapi
really?
Furia ini lumayan, Furia bagus, Furia bagus.
But yes,
Aku suka.
she looks fantastic.
Membuat
Helpful,
aku
has
ingin
some, like,
belajar
energy
Furia
saving
lagi
vibes.
dia.
All right, let's take a look at her in game.
Mungkin ya mungkin kalau deploy-nya bagus.
Oh yeah.
Ya,
very, very cool.
deploy-nya sih lucu gambarnya,
About
cuman
pointing a sword
tidak
at people
fungsional
is,
aja.
very
Tidak
intimidating.
menipu aja.
As it should be.
Cuma itu bisa
Oh,
jadi
it
bahan
looks
ledekan
great
sih,
in-game.
lucu.
I
First
know,
person.
isn't that amazing?
Tapi maksudnya
Changing
kan
that
jadinya
pyre strike into
kalau
an ice
Sati
beam, some nice
skin
ice effects coming
pas
out.
Skin ganti, deploy-nya ganti ya.
I told you,
Jadi
they're
satu
very
sama.
cool.
Off of it.
Emang ya?
Yep.
You weren't lying.
I wasn't lying. Check out that, yeah.
Ininya
really
juga
VFX.
ada ininya tadi. Nih, tuh.
Beamnya mana sih, nggak lihat gua?
Tuh.
Oh iya.
With the snowflakes, it looks great.
Yeah, it really permeates the whole
Beam lagi dong.
kit in a way that's
Kenapa?
very gratifying, I think.
Oh, mau
Nggak
diulang.
usah, jangan.
I think this one may be my personal favorite. And with my luck, it is the very last one that you unlock on the crossover pass, so I'll have to do some grinding for that.
Jadi pengen nonton
Seems like you're gonna need to play some Paladins.
apa? Oh, beamnya gitu.
Oh no.
Oh
Keren
no.
sih.
Keren, ini keren.
Just kidding.
It's-
So fun.
Movementnya sih kayaknya sama ya. Movementnya sama,
Awesome,
cuman
awesome.
kayak animasi kayak yang
And that does it
itu
for
ya.
the,
Animasi
uh,
gitu.
The emotes look so good.
Di-update.
But,
And-
so that does it
Now
for
balance.
the skins that come
Wah,
in
ini
the
bagus
crossover
sih.
pass, but
Si
we're not
VORA
done yet.
biasa aja.
We have
Ini mau
two
nonton
more
sendiri
skins
biar
that are going to be
di-review
included
semuanya. Tapi emang Vorra
as a
emang
direct
kalian
purchase.
masuk dikit sih.
Iya sih.
With
Enggak,
Salem
cuman kayaknya
Saris.
beda skin dia dapat animasi. Dapet ya?
And this skin
So
also
sinister.
looks
Musuhnya
fantastic.
dapet.
Yeah.
Ini siapa, Kat? Series.
Series.
With the
Kayaknya.
grim
Iya,
behind
series,
her and
series,
everything.
series. Bener kan series?
This is probably my favorite splash art.
Man, that red, like, almost misty texture.
Kenapa
in
banyak
front,
window
that's very
semua
cool.
sih?
Ya, fetishnya.
Love me some
Tapi
somber,
series
dark
kan juga
magic.
window book kan basically.
Check out those eyes.
She looks
Harus
great,
kind of like
and
maintenance of corruption.
Harpunya,
Oh, I love how that
betul.
turned out.
Semoga Bit lepas semua deh
she
jangan ada
looks
yang harus
great.
direct
And I know I'm
protest.
going to hate chasing her down because I can, for some reason, never get the elimination on Ceres.
Sebenarnya aku bisa pakai series lah, kepake
She looks
skinnya gitu.
fantastic, and we have a voice line for her as well.
Cuman aku jadi pengen beli Euphoria.
How does it feel? Knowing that all of your time and effort has been for nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah, that's a good
Aku
voice.
That's right,
penasaran
rise before me, worms.
RWB-nya atau
It doesn't take
beda gitu.
it doesn't take that much time for her to really create like, oh, I'm not supposed to like this person. This is a villain. Right?
Kayaknya
She's
ini
kinda
ya,
mean.
battle pass ini juga, tapi harga battle passnya
what gave it away? Was
lebih
it the
mahal
red
dari
veins?
biasanya.
I think it was
Voice
the
drips with
Biasanya berapa
malevolence.
pixel?
Black eyes.
Biasanya.
the floating evil jellyfish. Seer. I know it has a name. It's
Kemungkinan kayaknya bisa
Seer,
700.
but I don't know. I have a soft spot for evil people
Kapan lagi
in
gitu?
video games at least, and I think this turned out really well.
Soalnya
Yeah,
aku
trust
tuh
me, I need
seumur-umur
someone
belum
to bully
pernah
me from
beli
time to
battle
time.
pass. Pernah ya dibeliin waktu itu, cuman beli sendiri belum
Anyways,
pernah.
let's take a look at her in game.
Ini katanya bisa 700 kan battle passnya.
Nice.
How foreboding.
There's that
There's
seer.
the jellyfish.
Yeah, the evil jellyfish.
Dia ininya masih sama apa sih
Ooh.
movementnya gitu.
That's a great emote.
Posture just conveys like I'm an apex predator. Like you fear me, I don't fear you. I mean, it's very fun.
And again, I think
like
Ceres is a
Iya, semoga di bawah
perfect fit
700
for
deh
Salem.
please.
That cell shady style of the smoke is fun too.
Seri skin terakhirnya
Again,
tuh apa ya?
the VFX team killed it this time around with all of these skins.
Those orbs are fantastic. I'm liking them a lot.
Di Paladins belum ke-reveal ya fungsinya.
All right, and then let's go into the last skin for the Rwby crossover.
Nah ini skinnya
We
yang
have-
si Ceres.
Pro Branwyn Corvus.
Corvus.
My
Oh, wait,
husbando.
Pro.
Kenapa si Om tampan?
Fun.
Yeah,
Ini
he's
ada kan di RWB?
Ada.
here to teach me all about drinking.
Tapi kenapa jadi lebih ganteng di sini? Maksudnya
The
lebih
cool thing is,
kemen
we're
cantik
not
gitu.
even seeing it in
huh?
game yet, but I think the
Kalau
weapons
di
turned
ininya
out
kan kayak lebih
really well for the
bapak-bapak
skin.
kan,
So
kalau nggak salah.
another really cool. And of course, I have a
Kenapa ini
soft spot for
jadi
Corvus,
ikemen?
but yeah, really nice.
Jadi jadi
There he is.
muda.
Once again, like Paladins had
Kemudaan.
the right champions
Berondong,
for these
bener,
skins,
jadi
'cause I think
berondong,
also
coy.
Corvus is just a perfect fit for Crow.
Tapi nggak apa-apa,
Check out that
Corvus
blade.
dapet skin. Aku seneng.
Now
Corvus,
that
VORA
is
itu
an offhand
yang sering
blade,
ku
am I
pakai
right?
semua.
Sati, Vora, Imani mulai belajar lagi sih kayaknya gue.
That
And then
smirk.
we also have some voice lines for him too.
Corvus, VORA udah. Udah kelar, fix beli.
Sometimes I can't keep it under control.
Pisaunya lebay, gede banget. Iya sih. Iya ya, gede banget ya.
That's right, Crow, the
Pisaunya.
harbinger of
Dia
bad
kan
luck.
harusnya kecil banget pisaunya.
Aku nggak ngikutin sih mungkin
I like the mix of like business casual.
Enggak, maksudnya si
Button-up shirt,
Corvus.
vest, and slacks, and then a cape. I think that should
Iya
be a more
sih.
common outfit.
Cuman
Yeah, that's my
When you-
casual wear. I go to Publix
When
with
you
that.
when you have an interview at 5 but gotta save the world at 7, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
akan
Exactly.
Sometimes it'd be
ada.
like
Just
that.
the job you want, not the one.
Maksudnya
you
kan
have.
dari karakter
Exactly.
aslinya tuh kan
Alright,
pisaunya
let's take a look
kecil,
at him
terus
in-game.
dikasih skin pisaunya jadi gede. Apakah akan
Bring
ada
it home.
You're right. That sword does look fantastic
bug
as well.
atau apa gitu?
Enggak sih. Kalau skin Nova mah ya nembus-nembus dikit mah bukan masalah.
Paling nembus-nembus saya sih. Husbando.
Nice and chunky weapon shots.
Ini ceritanya Corvusnya sekarat.
That gun's a classic.
Sekarat lagi
Ooh,
diobatin
and
sama
it's a
Lilith.
crow. Ha! With the feathers.
Throws-
I love it.
That is
Sekarang ini nih,
fantastic.
Patchnote, mode
Fun fact, Corvus is actually based on the Latin word for crow, which turned out to be quite fortuitous.
Ya enggak, itu kan emang dipanggilnya
because,
gitu.
You know, Corvus, crow,
Bukan yang
crow,
bisa berpikir.
easy peasy.
Played the long
Bird?
game.
Yeah, I see.
Played the long game, calculated. It was plans coming together.
Kenapa aku jadi keinget Boboiboy ya?
And he looks great too. I love.
I'm really enjoying the bird audio, to be honest.
Cuman agak awkward sih pakai
I don't know what about it.
pegangannya
Maybe it's
buat
just a flight of fancy or
nge-feel
something, but
gitu, kayak
I'm really
aneh.
enjoying it.
It's got some like resonance to it, not quite an echo, but like it sounds like you're surrounded by it, right? That's fun.
Kayaknya ada yang
I
itu
can't wait
yang
to
yang
like the last thing that I hear is just a
vampir
bunch
itu.
of birds going.
Tsubasa atau Sasuke itu. Kayaknya Boboiboy.
Well, and there you have it. Those are all of these skins coming with the Rwby crossover. And once again, the main 4 will be in the crossover pass, while the Salem and Crow will be available for direct purchase. And that brings us to the end of our show.
Ya, udah selesai.
How do you guys feel about this update?
I'm happy with it. We heard the community. We put off a champion for this patch, and that we got a lot of quality of life changes. The elimination change I think is exciting, and the Rwby crossover is just awesome. I'm pretty stoked.
Jadi guys,
I know we were only able to touch on a couple of highlights or a few highlights for the balance changes, but we have an extensive list.
Tapi aku
I'm really
masih
excited for you guys to get
merasa
your
wibu
hands
sih.
on them and provide feedback. That's going to be super important for us.
Jadi guys,
As soon as we get PTS up, which I don't know when
sebulan
we're
ke
planning to do
depan,
that, but we are definitely, you know, as soon as possible,
kita
as always,
akan makan
making
nasi
sure that it's
kecap
open
ya.
for you guys. We'll message it out on socials, so keep track of that.
Nasi micin
But
kecap.
I'm pretty hyped. I thought the Rwby crossover turned out really well, and like I said before, I'm super hyped for all these changes coming with this update. So, as always, you guys are fantastic.
And like Nico said, follow our socials.
Dia
We'll have
belum
more info on the
nge-reveal
upcoming
ininya,
PTS, so you guys can go ahead and try it
harganya
out and give us our feedback. And again, we are watching, so please give us your feedback.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, that was it for our update show.
Ya, baru
Awesome.
update.
So make sure to give us your
Enjoy it.
feedback. Have a fantastic rest of the day, rest of the week, and we'll see you in the realm.
Rest of the day, sekarang udah malam.
Ya, habis guys. Harganya belum dikasih tahu guys.
PTS-nya datang belum sih? Kapan sih PTS-nya?
PTS tuh yang ini ya, apa
Yang
sih?
tesnya, public
Yang
test.
tesnya, public testnya. Begitu sih guys. Gimana?
Menarik. Harus punya sih.
Harus beli.
Meskipun nggak nonton, tapi soalnya gambarnya bagus. Yang mengecewakan sapi doang tuh. Deploy-nya tidak fungsional.
Satenya deploy-nya tidak fungsional. Wibu pula. Ada yang mau disampaikan? Belum. Ini.
Ya jelasnya apa? Biasa aja.
Nah. Sudah offline mereka guys. Thank you banget yang udah nonton. Jadi intinya kita teracun untuk membeli itu karena aku sih udah pasti beli karena itu. Maksudnya setidaknya itu semua champion yang ku pakai gitu. Sati siapa? VORA, Corvus, champion main aku semua. Ada semoga menang free BP di channel Discord Paladins. Oh iya ada apa sih?
Ya, itu free giveaway aja.
Oh, giveaway. Amin. Saya doakan Anda mendapat menang free BP di Discord Paladin.
Karena kita bisa beli.
Oh, bisa.
Makan nasi doang kan tadi? Nasi sama micin doang kan?
Sombong Anda. Aku sih nggak mau sombong ya, saya takut.
Apa penyakit ain?
Iya. Takut berkekurangan kalau sombong tuh jadinya.
Iya sih, kena karma.
Kita doakan saja semuanya mendapatkan apa yang mereka inginkan.
Amin.
Salah satunya Battle Pass ini. Amin. Sekian yang sudah nonton, thank you reaksi kita.
Sama doain juga, siapa tahu kita bisa bikin giveaway.
Amin. Semoga kita juga bisa bikin giveaway buat kalian. Dukung terus ya.
Yes, arigatang, ada wibu.
Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you so much. Arigatanks.
Hatur nuhun sadayana.
Hatur nuhun sadayana. Bukan apa nih? Itu cuma kebiasaan lama.
Oh, udah.
Oh, berarti
tobat.
Anda dulunya wibu.
Lulusan.
Lulusan wibu. Jane. Ya. Dadah. Bye bye. Thank you. See you next content. Bye.